Hi, my name's Renate. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is dedicated to intercultural communication, job search across cultures, expat life, and foreign language learning. I'm a language teacher, intercultural trainer, and communication skills coach by profession, and that's what my videos are mainly about. Today, I am going to make another video about TOEFL. If you've been taking the TOEFL, or if you need to take the TOEFL soon, or if you have a choice between the TOEFL and IELTS, there's another video I've made about the differences. So check out my other video on TOEFL versus IELTS. What are the differences? What's the same? But all of that applies to this year, 2025. As of January 2026, TOEFL will be totally different. That's why I've already made a video about the new TOEFL 2026. What are all the changes? Check out that video in general. But today I'm going to focus on one particular part. So I've decided to make one video each dedicated to sample test one you can download from the EDS website and just talk about it in more detail and show you a lot of examples. For that, as always in my videos, I'm going to share my screen and you're going to see my slides with lots of examples. So today's video is specifically about reading. Like I said, there will be other videos that are specifically about listening, speaking, and writing, but this one is about reading and what TOEFL reading will look like as of January 2026. If you're taking the TOEFL in November, December 2025, or even at the beginning or the mid of January 2026, it's going to be the current or old format. As of end of January, I don't know exactly when they're going to have the switch, January 21st, 26th. I don't know exactly. We'll have to wait until they publish that in much detail. Until then, it's the old format, but as of that late date in January 2026, this is what TOEFL reading will look like. All the information you're going to see is downloaded from this website, ETS, Educational and Testing Services. This is the test maker. This is the company that makes the TOEFL and other standardized tests. So go to that website. You'll find an awful lot of information about the switch, what the test looks like. And here's a slightly longer link where I got the overview document from, where most of the information comes from that I present in all my videos about the new TOEFL as of 2026. So here is also an overview, but I won't really talk about the other parts today. This video is specifically dedicated to reading and specifically to practice test one that I've downloaded from this website. So pause the video every time you see a link or you want to do a screenshot, or just go to ets.org/TOEFL and then click your way through the different options they have. This will lead you to documents for preparing for the test. You can also find interactive practiced sample tests that you can take yourself if you want to experience what the new test looks like and feels like. But like I said, today is going to be dedicated to new TOEFL reading, which will consist of three parts. Part one is complete the words. Part two is read in daily life. And part three is read an academic passage. Now, read an academic passage is the only thing that you will be familiar with. This is what TOEFL reading is all about right now. That's the only thing it is. They're only academic reading passages with multiple choice questions right now. So what they've done, they've added two more parts, and it's a progressive self-developing, self-grading sort of test they've developed, meaning you start with something seemingly easy, complete the words, but this will set the scene. Depending on how well you do, you will either get a low, middle, or high difficulty level read in daily life. And depending on how you do there, that's what type of academic reading passage you'll get. So it's a progressive system of difficulty levels, gauging your skills with part one and then moving on to part two and part three. So part one and two are completely new. We haven't seen that in TOEFL yet, but you may be familiar with it from other tests. And then part 3 they kept. It's just shorter. And I'll give you examples from practice test 1 that you can download from the EDS website on all 3 parts. So let's start with part 1, complete the words. This is what it looks like. So what I recommend is put the video on pause, try to fill the gaps, and when you think you're ready, then press start again, and I'll tell you what the answers are. Okay, press pause now. All right, I suppose you're ready to see the results. So here is what you have to do. It says we, am, I, and 3 gaps. What might be the word? Well, it's might, and you just have to select the letters that are missing. Not, you don't have to type the whole word. You just select options where I think you have to type actually. You have to type and fill in the gap so that the whole word appears. So here are the solutions. We might think that prehistoric people concentrated only on basic survival. However, it is clear from the record that dancing was important to them. Of course, you have to read the sentence before. Maybe you need the sentences after for understanding. But once you got your answers, don't finish reading, don't waste your time. Once you figure it out, move on. So this is what complete the words looks like. There are more examples on the TOEFL website. Just go online and try a couple of those complete the words exercises to get an idea. Once you've done that, you move on to part 2, read in daily life. So this could be different things. I have 2 examples for you. First one is read a notice. So take a minute to read the notice. Okay, did you read it? If you still need more time, just press pause and let's have a look at the first question. So what type of business issued the notice? I always give you a bit of time to think and then reveal the answer. It is a bank. Why? Well, there's a savings account statement. That's kind of a giveaway. They have a mobile app. Well, there could be different services, account preferences. Billing could be anything. Paperless billing, well, we don't know exactly, but the monthly savings account statements, that's a pretty decent giveaway that it's a bank. Next question. How can customers enroll in paperless billing? Have another look. Ready for the answer? It's by using the municipal charter app. And sometimes they will use names like municipal charter to confuse you. Municipal charter is the name of the bank. Yes, it's a very unusual name for a bank, sure. But if they call it, I don't know, so and so bank, then it's too easy. They want you to be confused. Municipal sounds like the organization dealing with a city, the administration of a city, and charter doesn't really sound like a bank. So you really have to read the text to fully understand what it's about. So that would be an example for read in daily life. Here's another example, read a social media post. I'd say, this is quite long, I'd say press pause to read it and continue play when you're ready to see the questions. All right, press pause now and come back when you're ready. Okay, I take it you've read it. So let's have a look at the first question. What is the main purpose of the post? And here's one thing that is actually different from what it used to be. The TOEFL, the way it is right now until the end of 2025, They would give you a first question about the first part of the text or the first paragraph. And then when you move on to the next question, you could find the answer further down in the text, maybe in the second paragraph, and so on. Now they tend to give you questions like, what is the main purpose of the post at the very beginning? So this has changed. They're giving you shorter texts to read, but they do require you now to read the entire text and then go back for details. So it's a slightly different way of reading that is required as opposed to what TOEFL is right now. Anyway, so what is the main purpose of the post? What's your answer? Yes, it is to describe a variety of products available at the farmer's market. So it's not only about organic farming. They're not comparing different farmers markets. It's one specific one. And they do not offer advice on how to start a stall at a farmer's market. No, they just give you an overview of all the different products that are available. They specifically mentioned the Thompson family's organic produce. This is a particular family that has a stall there, but it doesn't mean that it's only organic farming and there's nothing about benefits. It's really just giving you an overview of what's available at the farmer's market. The next question is, what reason is given for the popularity of the Thompson family stall? What's your answer? Have another look. Yes, it's to provide friendly service and excellent products. It does say here, known for its quality and cordial service. So cordial, they replace it with friendly, and quality, they replace it with excellent products. So this is typically what you find. You'll find a replacement, a synonym for the words used in the original text. And the last question, why do customers go to the bakery stall early? Have another look. And yes, it is to get freshly baked bread and pastries before they are gone. So let's have a look. And it says here, the smell of freshly baked goods fills the air, and these treats sell out fast. So a treat is a delicious food item, and when it sells out fast means it's gone quickly. So again, we're replacing the words, but the meaning is the same. You should go there before they are gone. So this is how to read in daily life, two examples. And that brings us to the last part 3, read an academic passage. Now, here's an example from practice test 1, and you'll see the website where you can find this example. It's a shorter text. If you've prepared for the TOEFL or you've actually taken the TOEFL now in the past or until the end of 2025, you know that these academic reading passages are pretty long. They're about 700 words or more, as several passages. It's definitely 5 or 6 paragraphs. So this is shorter. And like you can see from the first question, this is also what I mentioned. It says, what is the passage mainly about? So they force you to actually read the whole text. You can't just go over it step by step. So that's different. So what is it about? Again, press pause, read the entire text about the mirror test. Once you're done reading, come back and we'll have a look at the answers. Okay, you're back. So I suppose you're done reading. So here's our first question. So what is it about? And hopefully you came to the same conclusion that it's research on animal cognition. It has nothing to do with early childhood development. It's just a comparison to what children are able to do. It's mainly about can animals recognize themselves in the mirror and which ones? So it's research on animal cognition. It's not the difference between the animals. It's in general, which that's not the main purpose. And it's definitely not an experiment with a fish. This is just one little detail. Um, if they say, what is it about, they want you to be very general, the gist of it. And the gist is research on animal cognition. Okay, here's the next one. The word milestones, a vocabulary question. They still they still do those. The word milestone in the first sentence. What does it mean? If you said accomplishment, that is correct. Then why did scientists put colored marks on animals' bodies? So you may have to go back and find it. Or maybe you remember from reading it. That's the advantage. You have to read it all, but it's a short text, and you probably remember that it helped to determine whether the animals recognize themselves. According to the passage of the following are true about elephants, except. So they kept the type of questions they had for academic reading in the current TOEFL. So this is one of the standard questions they've always asked in TOEFL. Which of those is not true, basically? So three of them are correct about elephants and one is not. So which is the one that is not correct? And I hope you said the last one. That is the one that is not correct. One more question. Why does the author mention cleaner fish? Now we move on to the last paragraph here. So what does the fish have to do with everything else here? And it's to suggest that a wide range of animals may possess self-awareness. So that's an example of what academic reading looks like. If you want more, go back to the website where you can do lots of those practice tests. Also, um, like the automatic ones where you click yourself through the experience. They offer those as well. So these are the four parts of the test. This video was about reading. I will obviously make more videos about listening, writing, and speaking until the end of the year. So if you like that, subscribe to my channel, come back and see what else there is. But do go to the website, download information from those places there, and see what you can find to practice on your own. All right. So if you are looking for a TOEFL teacher, that's what I do, among other things, then you can find me online by using my name, Renate Urban, or my business name, Urban Training and Services. You can connect with me through my website or on LinkedIn. Or keep coming back to my YouTube channel. If you like it, please subscribe, please come back. If you're looking for a TOEFL teacher, please contact me directly. If you have a question, leave a question in the comments. And good luck with your TOEFL test if you're taking one right now, or good luck next year with a new format. See you soon for the next part. Goodbye.